What's up, Ola? Shout out to Ola. Well, hello. Call up then. Call up and say what you got to say, bro. Just say what you got to say like a man. Don't be... Yeah, you were trolling. Call up now and say what you got to say. Since you here, call up right now. What number you calling from? Hello? What area code you calling from? Hello? It's funny, whenever I do trolling, you ask them to call up, they always got an excuse. My phone fucked up. The line is busy. Okay, really? Hello, I asked you again, what area code you calling from? Hello, I asked you again, what area code you calling from? Because I'm looking at my phone lines and you ain't calling. I noticed I asked you over and over what area code you're calling from and you haven't answered. You keep deflecting. 414. I don't see 414.
Oh, how you doing, Tariq? This is Ray calling from Houston, Texas.
Hey, Ray, I'm gonna have you call back in a minute, bro. I'm trying to get this troll to call up. That's the number. Hello.
All right, I'm here. All right, Tariq.
What's up? This hello?
Why gotta be a troll? Why gotta be a troll? Why gotta be a troll?
Okay, why are you repeating everything over and over again, bro? That's the question.
Okay.
All right. So what's up? What you have to say, bro?
Okay, first off, I think it's about long overdue that when we want to escape the bullshit racism that we build on our own. But when we do build on our own, we do got a threat, internal threats we got to address boldly. And that is the thuggery, the goonery, whatever you want to call it. That is our most imminent threat when we walk outside our doors if we're trying to build. Because I'm trying to build what I know best, my community. And I think that's probably been long overdue.
So how come you haven't done it then? So how come you haven't done it since that's the biggest threat?
Oh, the thing is, I am doing it right now, but to get more brothers to step up, it's a huge liability for us to get to step up because you got to pay so much more because of that goon problem. You got to come out of your pocket to deal with the goon, security, insurance, to deal with goons. And I noticed that we throw everybody underneath the bus as black, hotel black, blacks in the UK, but we never talk about the goons boldly and confronting and expose them too. They're a problem.
So the goons are a problem and they affect everybody how?
A business, like you see any business that just try to come up in the inner city, they got to hire security, the man at the front gate, and you got to put up security bars and make your business look on site. I mean, like, all that is a goon problem.
Okay. So all the while, like, you know, I hear Trick. I've been following you for a long time. I support your machine. I got your shirt. I listen to the sponsors. I look out for ones that do me well, and I reach out to them too. That is a problem that faces us when we got a storefront problem when we really trying to dig. So let me just crunch your whole argument up to see what your whole, because you're just saying goons and I don't even know what your real argument is. So you're saying that the issue that black people have is not white supremacy, but it's goons. That's the problem.
No. I'm talking about when the black man or black child step outside their door, they got to go outside their zip code usually. And you in my neck of the woods, in Milwaukee, segregated, yes. You got to go outside your zip code to find racism. But when you within the four walls of your zip code, your first line of defense is from a thug-ass dude that I seem to be getting a lot of passes from even the big talkers like yourself, Dr. Phil Valentine. Nobody talks to that problem explicitly. Y'all talk about them wearing a skirt and rap. That's about it.
But the thing is, goons are only in certain neighborhoods, and they're black people who are not all in the ghetto. And black people who are not in the ghetto don't have to worry about a goon. So just
that's where I'm from. That's where I'm from, the ghetto. I'm from the ghetto. I mean, I'm sorry, I ain't have no.
But you're saying, you just said that black people's problem when they walk out the door is goons, and that ain't true. If you're in a broke area, you got to worry about a goon. But all black people don't live in broke areas, but they still have to deal with systematic white supremacy. See, you're talking like the white supremacists who say that all black people are basically ghetto, welfare, mothers, smoking crack. That's what they say about all black folks, and that's what you sound like to a certain degree.
Dr. Eugene
Eugene Robinson, MSNBC, put out a book called Disintegration. He will argue that the largest population of blacks are those he called abandoned. Not the middle class, not the upper class. It is a huge problem to be swept underneath the rug and say it's just not there, not impacting. Yeah, there's some middle class blacks out there. Yeah, there's some rich blacks out there, but most of us, we come from a hood that's smothered by this mentality that, you know, we try to get it how we live, and we just only looking out for ourselves. We don't care if we step on the next black.
Why? Okay. If that's the case, why? Wait, stop it. Okay, if that's the case, if black people just got to get it how they live, why? Why are black people like that? If that's your assessment, why?
Also, we making excuses for that now.
No. I asked you a question. No, I asked you a question. I asked you a question. Why? If black people are just getting it how they live and they just about that life and gangster goon, why? What is the reason for that? I'm asking you, what's the reason for that?
It must be that post-slavery traumatic disorder that we put on as a little pamper on every problem that justify all the problems that they do.
So is that why you're saying black people are goons?
I ain't saying no white. Look, I'm talking about our community.
Why are black people goons? I'm asking you, why are so many black goons? Why? What is it about black people that makes your black skin turns you into a goon? Why?
Because you got other underlying issues that make them turn out that way.
Such as what? Such as what?
Broken households, broken schools, broken everything else.
Wait, stop. No, stop, no, because now you regurgitating all that Fox News stuff. So you're saying that broken homes, that's making black people goons?
I'm talking about a broken lot of everything is broken. Everything is broken. We trying to fix it. They giving away. Again,
why is it broken?
They come from.
Why is it broken? Why is it broken?
Because not enough of us willing to step up and come back to invest in the hood. That's why I say
no. That's no. There were black businesses that were thriving. There were black businesses that were thriving up until the 1960s. Those black businesses went through racism and white discrimination. White communities burned down black prosperous neighborhoods, so they still had to deal with white supremacy.
We in 2000 now. I'm talking about 2000 today. We're just gonna give up today doing trying to reset.
So let me get your assessment is that if black people stop committing all this black crime, that everything is going to be all right. If that's the problem, it's just all this black crime, right?
Everywhere you go in the inner city where I'm from, a black business needs to hire security to protect them from themselves. Yes, that's a problem.
That's in any impoverished neighborhood, bruh. That's in any That's an economic issue. Ain't got nothing to do with black. That ain't got nothing to do with black. That's economic.
So Tariq, forgive me for having hidden colors expectations of our race for the 21st century. Then forgive me.
You just said you just said something about burglar bars and all that. That's an economic issue. That has nothing to do with color. That's economics. Well, you from Milwaukee, right?
Yeah.
You from Milwaukee, all that Chicago area, because people like to. Are you one of those guys who like to blame Chicago? Well, what about Chicago? Are you one of those type of dudes?
No. Chicago got its own problems.
But you're using the same argument about black crime.
It's very similar to ours. Just like they got a very similar problem in St. Louis and Upland too. It's a goon problem that nobody want to talk about because you want to post-slavery.
We do talk about the goon problem. The goon problem. First of all, ain't no goons. There are no goons. Ain't no real street dudes. All the dudes the goons are locked up. You have people out here who now you trolling now. Stop trolling and listen, bruh. Because now you're just talking to hear your fucking self talk, dude. And now you're starting to sound like you trolling. Now, if you want to have a real conversation, just listen, say what you got to say, then I say what I got to say. But now don't you acting fucking goofy now, dude. Chill out.
I'm hearing you out.
All right, but now you starting to be a little goofy. Just say what you got to say like a grown fucking man. I'm trying to say something. Okay, just chill out, dude.
Same stuff. I've been to the same trenches, and I ain't grow up to be no disrespectful to no businesses like that. I can see the same stuff too. So what gives them?
Well, those are the dusty niggas in your neighborhood.
Something like that.
That's an economic issue. That's an economic issue. It ain't got nothing to do with them being black. That's an economic issue. Do you understand that? Are you saying that it's some kind of culture thing?
People doing that's economic to them, ain't it?
They doing what?
When white people doing their racist bullshit, ain't that just economics to them too?
No. Shooting Trayvon Martin or Jordan Davis ain't got nothing to do with economics.
I'm talking about systematic racism.
That's what I'm talking about too. That's what I'm talking about too. That's systematic racism because Zimmerman is walking around free now. So that's systematic racism working at top speed.
Because again, they set that up because again, it keeps them in power. They want to stay in power. They ain't gonna let us walk around freely. So I'm worried about our four walls of our community. Fuck a white dude, honestly.
Well, the first thing to get, okay, now let's peel back the layers. You keep talking about goons, and I'm asking you, I said, why are they goons? You start talking about some shit about a broken family. Do you really believe that the reason they're goons is not because of systematic white supremacy, but because of a damn broken family? That's why they're so-called goons?
Well, I heard post-slavery traumatic disorder.
Forget it. No. Forget about all that post-slavery stuff.
I don't know. I don't care what.
What I'm telling you, since you don't know, okay, so you said you don't know. Well, that's me. When you don't know something, that's when it's time to listen, okay? When you don't know something, which you just admit, I'm telling you where the goons came from. That's an economic issue. The reason why there's an economic issue is because of generational systematic white supremacy creating the economic situation. Does that make sense?
All right. Okay.
Does that make sense? Am I talking out of my ass?
Tariq. You've been through that. I've been through that. We ain't going around being good.
Dude, I lived in Compton, South Central, and Long Beach. I done been there. I know the game from both sides. So
it's justified for them then because of that then, right?
It ain't justified nothing. I just know the real reason behind everything, and sitting up talking about that broken family bullshit, that's a cop-out, and that's coon talk. It ain't got nothing to do with a broken family.
Okay.
Because even before the broken families, there was still a lot of poverty in many black pockets of America. Do you understand that? Because people like to point to the 1960s, especially white supremacists and coons. They always go to the 1960s talking about this black family breakdown. But before the black family breakdown, there was still mass incarceration of black men. There was still disproportionate poverty. You couldn't blame it on the breakup of the black family because black people were right there. Even after slavery, the black family was intact, and people were surprised by that, and there was still systematic racism going on with black folks. So these are all excuses to try to hide the fact that systematic racism is creating all of these elements.
My last question is, so we have to kind of look past that because it's an economic built issue with the goons, but when white people pull the same racism to kind of keep their economic position, we're supposed to drag them through the mud, though, right? They all bad for that, but when dudes do the same thing, we're supposed to sit back and pamper them because they woe is them because of the economic reasons, right?
No, because what you're having is an argument that's based on two things that are completely unrelated. Because black crime, how does black crime and what type of white supremacy you're talking about? Wait. What do you compare? Give me an example of what you're talking about. We're hell on white supremacy, but we give black crime a pass. Well, give me an example of what you're trying to say.
You said where the goons come from. It's economic, and white people set up their races because it's economic. They bad. The goons are justified, though. I'm because you know what? They both hurt the legitimate black male, regardless of how you.
Let me tell you, you're having two arguments because black folks don't get this. We don't do the same thing. We don't do the same thing as systematic white supremacists do. We don't do what are you trying to compare black crime to something that systematic white supremacy is engaged in? I don't even know what example you're trying to make.
Because the KKK might as well have on black clothes and black face because you saying it's justified because of economic issues that they had to go through just as much as I had to go through, but I ain't telling them.
You're not making sense. You're not making sense. You're not being a coon. What you're saying ain't making no sense right now. What you said just don't matter. I keep asking you for an example and you're just kind of throwing out slogans. You're throwing out Fox News rhetoric and you don't even know what it means. You can't even give it you can't even give an example. Brother, you're just throwing out slogans, dude. You're not even giving an example of what you're trying to say. What are you trying to compare economic deprivation with white supremacy? What's the comparison?
Both of them are the biggest threat to black people. They both are. Racism and your local clan being the black girls. How you don't see that?
The black goons and who? The Klan? That what you're trying to say?
White people who got their racism on the outside of our zip code, and niggas who, I guess, are goons who justify it with their own economic bullshit. Say, you know what? Oh, I just can't be white because the whole economic issue got me down. So I'm gonna go cause chaos in my own community, and that's what they do. They justify it.
Nobody's just who did you hear me justify? I'm not justifying anything. I'm not justifying it.
There's a reason why they die like this. The white supremacy has been around for so long, got them like this. So
didn't say that. I didn't know. Now you're putting words in my mouth. Now you're putting words in my mouth. Now you sound like a white supremacist. I didn't say racism has been around so long that it's making them do it. I said the situation of economic deprivation was created by white supremacy. That's why there is crime in certain sectors of the black community. Not to justify it, but I put the onus where the onus should be. It was created by those outside of the community. Do you agree or disagree with that? Do you agree or disagree? Wait. Let's just go. Let's stop it. Do you agree or disagree why there's economic deprivation in many parts of the black community? Can we agree on that it was created by systematic white supremacy? Are we there? Okay. Now, since we acknowledge that, then we can say, okay, now it's time for us to cut the bullshit off and get about our business. Because I agree to a certain degree that we got to stop the street shit, the robbing, stealing, all that. We shouldn't be doing that. But I understand because of economic deprivation, that's always going to happen in any society where there's economic deprivation. There's going to be crime, even in Milwaukee, even in Chicago, among whites. You understand that? Because that's the thing. That's the thing. Because they're not around them. And up in Chicago and that area, let me tell you something, because people like to use Chicago and Milwaukee as an example of black deprivation. Chicago and that area has always been a hotbed for crime all across the board, even in the white community. Because Chicago, they had the Italians massacring everybody when the Italians were marginalized, when the Irish were marginalized, they were killing each other. They had all types of racial gangs in Milwaukee and in Chicago and all of those areas. And what they did, they didn't say, well, damn, it's those people, they're just being goons. They said, we need to create economic situations that will stop them from committing crimes. And that's exactly what they did. But when it comes to black folks, it's like, well, that's how they are. They're just flawed. They're just goons. We need to lock them up. No, so again,
that ain't me throwing my whole race under the bus like that.
It sounds like it. It sounds like it.
That's the problem, because they have. You think anything ascribed to a goon is what the black standard is? Like anything is a goon is black. When you
who said that? Who said that? That's the white supremacist mentality. That's the white supremacist mentality. That's what a white supremacist saying. And you talking all this goon, you talking, it's not a whole bunch of goons. These niggas ain't no fucking goons out here. What goons? These niggas ain't about, you got skinny jean wearing bitch niggas out here who shoplift like hoes. Ain't no fucking goons. You have little beggars and thieves.
I honestly think that's a huge disrespect. I mean, granted, that may be LA, that may be the West Coast type.
It ain't the West Coast.
But again, that's not what our business setting is like out here. When you want to open up a business, and you fuck at any black business, they all got to be fronted, at least manned by a security guard to protect you from who?
It ain't a black business. It's in a certain neighborhood. You got to do it. If it's a neighborhood that's been economically deprived and gentrified, and the tax racket is brought down, and they've Section 8'd the whole neighborhood.
That's the only place we can go.
That's bullshit. That's the only place. Bullshit, nigga. That's you being a slave. Bullshit. You can go anywhere and set up a business, nigga. That's bullshit. That's your low self-esteem. That's your low self-esteem. That's your low self-esteem, nigga. If you think you can only do something in an economically deprived area, that's your low self-esteem. You can start a business anywhere you want to start one if you want to get down. You ain't got to start no business in an economically deprived area. You can't have it both ways. That's your low self-esteem.
We can't have it both ways. We can build where we come from. We should be. If we love the hood, we should upgrade the hood. What happened to that?
Wait. Now you love the hood and want to upgrade, but they're all goons though. First they all goons, but now you want to upgrade them. If they're goons, why you want to upgrade them? You're contradicting yourself. Now, wait, you were just saying they were all goons and they were all the ills of the black community. Now you want to upgrade them. So what you want to do, man?
So you is not listening. First off,
I'm listening.
I share the hood with these girls. That don't mean they own the hood or anything. I call that hood to my heart too. I love it. These girls will sit back and watch it burn like they always have. Chicago, Oakland, Milwaukee, New York. Girls will set that ablaze and watch it watch it burn and do nothing. I'm sitting there trying to change and encourage brothers to step up where they.
How you going to encourage something you ain't doing it? See, how are you going to encourage somebody to do something you're not doing it? So what are you doing? How are you going to do it? You said you're going to encourage them how to do it. How you ain't doing nothing? How are you going to encourage somebody to do something you're not doing it?
You don't know me, Tariq.
I do know you. I know you ain't doing nothing. I know you. I can tell in your voice you ain't doing nothing. You ain't doing nothing to not just create a business. You ain't got no business. Let's be real. You don't have no business, brother. You don't have a business, and you're not doing nothing to uplift anybody in the community. Let's be real. Let's be real. I know that about you.
I'm done. You're a fraud, nigga.
No, okay, well, show it. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. All right, this whole ass nigga hung up. Fuck boy. The shit got real. That whole ass nigga hung up. Fuck boy. Talking about some goons. This nigga sound like somebody that probably whooped his ass in the neighborhood and he's mad. Bitch ass. I'm trying to encourage them to do something. Nigga, you ain't got nothing going on. He hung up the phone real quick because I was about to ask him to prove it. If you got anything going on, prove it. The bitch nigger tree is real. The bitch nigger tree is real, and I got a video for this nigga.
What about black on black crime? Where the white women at? All white people ain't bad. We is our own worst enemy. Right on. What about black on black crime?
Man.
Where the white women at?
Yeah, I was about to get him. I was about to say, hey, if you got anything going on, prove it. He knew that was coming. That's why his bitch ass hung that phone up real quick. Talking about some damn goons. The fuck out of here. This nigga. Talking about the goons are the problem. This nigga sitting up kissing ass. Man. But yeah, this dude basically just called up and regurgitated a whole bunch of Fox News right-wing rhetoric bullet points because that's their whole argument. Their whole argument is that white supremacy, there's no more white racism. The problem is black cultural pathology. That the black family breakdown is the reason why black people are going to jail. Black people are committing crime. It's just because of the black family. The black women keep having all these bastard kids, and that's their argument. See, these niggas love to get systematic white supremacy. They love giving it a pass. That's the coon way, because challenging systematic white supremacy is very difficult. So a lot of dudes, it's very easy to sit up and say, it's another black person doing it. Okay, hello. You're not gonna troll in here, brother. Hold on. Let me let you know right now. You ain't trolling in here, my nigga. So that ass is banned right now. You ain't about to come in here trolling, hoe ass nigga. So I just banned your dumb ass real quick. Yeah. We done with you, nigga. This ain't the fuck nigga hour where you just come in and troll for attention. No. Get the fuck on up out of here. Hold on. Is this whole ass nigga? Hello?
All right, so I'm back. You see what I'm doing, right? All right, I ain't even gonna go all into my.
Yeah, no, and I'm not gonna let you talk long, fuck boy, because you hanging up and trolling on my page, bitch nigga. You ain't gonna be on here showing out, hoe ass nigga. Now say what you gotta say and get the fuck off my phone. Say what you gotta say, fuck boy. Say what you gotta say, fuck ass nigga, and get off my fucking phone. Say what you gotta say, fuck boy. Because you acting like a bitch. You acting like a bitch.
Okay, first off, Tariq, I am doing something. Fuck words, fuck all this rhetoric. I do got my hands on the ground getting dirty, doing work out here. We are bringing wireless internet to Martin Luther King Drive in our community and bringing it to other areas in the community. So, you know what? I'm doing my damn thing. We need businesses out here. We need businesses.
Get off my phone. This nigga done sat up and made up some shit. You ain't doing nothing. Get off my phone, hoe ass nigga. He's getting wireless internet for Martin Luther King Boulevard. Get the fuck off my phone with them lies. This nigga done got off the phone, thought of a lie, and called back. You hoe ass nigga. You getting wireless internet for Martin Luther King Boulevard. Nigga, if you don't shoot your fucking self in the throat with that bullshit. The fuck out of here. This nigga ain't got nothing going on. This nigga ain't got nothing. Call up here with them lies. Nigga trying to talk. I don't like niggas trying to talk tough on the internet and on the phone. I don't like all that internet tough talk. I don't like niggas on that proves how much of a bitch nigga you are. Supreme, stop it. Don't hurt my brand. Fuck that nigga. Trying to keep up no brand? Fuck that nigga. Man. Nigga lying. This nigga went and Googled something. He said, okay, I'm gonna think of something to lie about. When I asked him, when I said the first time he was on the phone, he hung up. So this nigga had to go Google something and think of something. Because the dude is basically trolling now. He's up in the room trying to troll. I blocked him. The nigga's trolling. Fuck out of here. I hate coons. That's one of my things. I really don't like coons. And that's how you got to deal with coons, black folks. That's the thing. Black folks, we don't really need to waste time with coons. Coons are there to really dissipate the energy. Fuck a coon. Coons are only going to sit up and waste your time whenever you try to get shit popping. Coons are right there to divert the energy. That's how you deal with a damn coon. Get them the fuck on out your business. Because again, that's why we put the coon train up. The coon train is always going to roll up to try to thwart the energy of any kind of progress. And he said everything on the coon train. What about black on black crime? We is our own worst enemy. Shut them coons down, get their asses out the mix, and you keep it pushing. You dig what I'm saying? That's how you deal with coons. And that's all that nigga is a big ass coon. Nothing more, nothing less. He's a coon. He can't even articulate his coonishness. All these goons, man, all these goons out here in Milwaukee, all these goons is messing it up. Sound like somebody that whooped this nigga's ass. You know what that sounds like? That sounds like this nigga that got bullied or beat up at school. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what happens to a lot of coons. A lot of coons are niggas who got their asses whooped at school by some brothers, so now they have this whole hatred for the whole black community. Because this whole thing all boiled down to some damn goons. So this nigga done probably got jumped by somebody, and they probably beat him up for his milk money or some shit like that. Because this whole argument was about some damn goons. And that ain't destroying nothing. Goons, they got a jail system for so-called goons. The jails are locked up with goons. The jails are packed with goons. So that whole argument is moot. What's up? Who's calling?
What's up, bro? This is Mustafa. How you feeling?
What's up, Mustafa? How you doing, fam? Where you calling from? Philly?
I'm good. Listen, I got a quick question.
Where you calling from? Where you calling from, bro? Where you calling from?
I'm calling from St. Louis, V.
Oh, okay. There you go. What's on your mind?
Listen, I want to know, are you familiar with this Agenda 2063?
Well, that sounds kind of familiar. What is that exactly?
It's over in Africa. The African Union came up with a 50-year plan, and one of the things is by the year 2063, they plan to take control of all their own resources. And then the second thing is, I know you're familiar with what's going on in the Caribbean with the brothers and sisters over
the reparations.
There, putting a lawsuit in
for the reparations.
But for reparations, my thing is, what's going on with the brothers and sisters here in the U.S., man? We got people like Cousin Ruckus calling up.
Yeah, I was just about to say, that call, that's what's going on with the niggas here. That call you heard, that's what's going on right there. The niggas whining about goons instead of tackling this shit for what it is. That's the damn problem. It's too many of that. So other people are waking the fuck up out here, and we're the only ones that's on that dumb shit because niggas are comfortable on the plantation. That's the problem. Because I done talked to some lawyers from the Caribbean. They're dead ass serious about getting that shit popping. They got it together out there, and I'm taking my hats off to those brothers over there in the Caribbean. And one of those brothers, I think is Mugabe, one of those brothers over in Africa, they're like, we're getting our land back, we're taking our resources. They're about that life now. I'm taking my hat off to them because we should have been on that.
Right, the niggas over here, man, we want to call them like some goons, man, that nigga got beat up in school. I know dudes like that.
Exactly.
A lot of dudes like that. I guarantee you somebody whooped his ass the other day, man.
Exactly. Man, hey, thanks for the call, fam. Yes, indeed. But brothers out around the world, man, black folks are getting it together. They're waking up. Man. They're like, look, man, it's time. You dig?